Now, to the latest on the search for the teenager Jay Slater, who went missing in Tenerife 11 days ago.
And the mayor of a town close to where Jay disappeared claims that some locals saw the 19-year-old from Lancashire watching games at the Euros.
Well, former Scotland Yard detective Peter Bleksley is here. Morning, Peter.
Morning.
I mean, what do we make of these sort of comments and these sort of claims this long into a missing persons inquiry?
And, of course, they're increasing in number as the days go by. A CCTV image, which is barely decipherable, that could or could not have been him, watching the Euros, the mayor chipping in, all of that, at the moment, appears to be making no difference whatsoever to the Guardia Civil's theory that they're working on and how they're conducting the search. Everything that they've done is in this very hostile terrain where there's gullies and ravines and caves and cactus that'll slice you like a razor. All they're searching, all their resources, including helicopters, drones, additional dogs, search teams, are focusing on those kind of areas. And there seems to be no shifting them from that working hypothesis, as British police would call it. So for the time being, that's what they're doing, and they don't seem to be changing their minds.
Is that quite a standard approach, Peter, or should they be looking or pursuing other avenues? Because on day 11, if they're still searching ravines, so far they haven't found anything.
No, they haven't, but terrain like that is often very slow to give up its secrets. There are tales from locals about people going out there, cyclists, for example, going across this terrain, disappearing and not being found for some considerable time. We'll have to wait and see. A senior investigating officer has to, of course, consider all options. But in this case, they seem to have been so fixed on this theory that if, at some later stage, and I say if, detectives are deployed to investigate witnesses who were in bars, for example, or we see people in forensic suits then going to examine a property or a vehicle of the such like. If we see any of that, then that will be a massive U-turn and could potentially cause enormous embarrassment for the Guardia Civil and, of course, some further upset for the family. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, within all of this, I mean, following the line of inquiry that they are doing, is presumably a recovery operation, is it?
By now, sadly, yes, that is what it would, in essence, be, unless there was some form of absolute miraculous way in which Jay had managed to survive in the most hostile of territory. I think the longer it goes on, the less likely it is that this story is going to have a happy ending.
In terms of the claims that are being made now, and say that this mayor that's come forward and what have you, is that common in missing persons cases where there is no developments? Do people come up with these ideas, false sightings, fake sightings?
Oh, yes. I mean, for some years, I've been hunting a fugitive from Liverpool called Kevin Parle, who's been on the run for 20 years, wanted for 2 murders, and I'm still working on that. And I have had a considerable number of sightings of him. At one point, he was driving the number 63 bus in Altrincham, and on another occasion, he was going to the European Cup final to watch Liverpool, both of which, of course, were not true. In a case like this, and in recent cases like the disappearance of Nicola Bulley, we've seen armchair sleuths who basically have zero detective experience other than watching 2 episodes of Vera, coming up with their theories based on very little knowledge, training and experience. It's unhelpful. But, of course, the police can't afford to completely ignore it, just in case, amongst all that drivel and traffic online, there might be a nugget that is useful.
Well, that's exactly what the family have said, haven't they? They've just said, please don't get involved with your conspiracy theories because you're distracting from the investigation. Peter Bleksley, good to see you this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.